Go.
Okay, so we're here in Music 1120. This video is for Jash and Deep, who is who knows where. Jash, come to my class, all right? I'm not making any more of these videos for you, and you're not making any more excuses for yourself. All right. Who can tell me what this is? It's a circle. And in music, this circle has a lot of power. We call this a whole note. And a whole note gets 4 beats. Don't worry about taking down notes. This is all in the textbook, and also I'll take photos of this and put it up on Moodle. So you don't have to worry about scribbling down notes, because I'll always just take photos and put it on Moodle, and you can just kind of dig it in. So a whole note gets 4 beats. Here's 4. This is a whole note. It sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Any questions? Good. What happens if you take 4 and you take a samurai sword, you chop it in half? What do you get 2 of? 4 divided by 2 is?
What?
I swear this is a university class. Okay, I swear it's a university class. So if I chop this in half like this, I'm going to get 2 things that are 2 beats. So we start with a circle again, but this time we give it what's called a stem. S-T-E-M. So now our whole note has been split into these 2 parts, and this is called a half note. And a half note gets 2 beats, because we took the whole note and we cut it in half. Do we see that? Okay, I'm going to try to make this so clear to you that you'll never forget. Now, when we get that sword out again, we're going to chop Rooney. This time, we're going to fill in the note. It still has a stem. And if you take 2 beats, you chop it in half, what do you get 2 of?
Quarter.
You get 2 1 beats, right? Okay. So now we're going to have 1 beat. A whole turned into a half. A half is going to turn into a quarter note. You see how these are the names of fractions, and they're getting smaller and smaller each time? So music is all math and relationships. The more you learn about music, the more you realize it's just math with sound. So we've gone from a whole note to a half note to a quarter note. We can fit 2 quarter notes into a half note. We can fit 2 half notes into a whole note. We can fit 4 quarter notes into a whole note. If you understand, say yes.
Yes.
If you don't understand, say no. Okay, cool. There's a ghost over there that's not sure. It's like just slowly moving the door, creaking, just being creepy. Okay, so we can split this even more. So those of you who don't know music, I want to see if you can figure out, using logic, what these relationships are. So first of all, we went 4, down to 2, down to 1. What's the next beat value going to be?
8.
Half. Correct. So it's going to be half a beat. We went from whole to half to quarter. What's the next fraction? What's half of half of 1 quarter? An eighth. So now we have an 8th note. So the reason why we use words for this and numbers for this is because we don't want to mix them up. This is the name of this note, but this is how much it's worth. The name is a word, the number is a value, how much it gets. We could do whole, one whole, right? Half, quarter, eighth for each of these, but then it would all be numbers and it would be confusing. So, half and half, quarter and quarter. Okay, so that's how we name the notes. And I'm going to erase that because I don't want you to get confused. So now, what do these look like? They look just like quarter notes, except they have what we call a flag. Like a flag that flows in the wind, yeah? So this is a flag. It's a music flag, okay? So eighth notes. How many eighth notes can you fit in a whole note? 8. How many quarter notes can you fit in a whole note?
4.
How many half notes can you fit in a 2? Okay, so the name also tells you how many fit into a whole note. That's why the whole note is such a powerful note, because all the notes are named and derivative of the whole note. Okay, we're going to go even further, because I can see how exciting this is for all of you. The edge of your seats. Okay, it's just going to take me a while, so hold on. I really need an assistant to do this. Oh, that one's really poorly drawn. It's okay. Oh my God. Anybody got any good jokes? Keep us occupied while I basically use all the ink in this felt. Oh! Okay. So, first of all, what is this kind of note called? 16th note. 16th note. How many beats does it get? A quarter. Yes. It gets 1/4 of a beat. How many 16th notes can you fit in a whole note? 16. Okay? So, the reason why I'm laying it out to you like this is because if your brain understands how it works, if you understand it, you'll never forget it. If you just try to memorize this, you'll probably forget it because you'll get homework from some other class and it'll just get pushed out of your head. But if you get it, you understand it, you'll remember it forever. So, what does this all mean? Let me show you. Sorry, Josh. You gotta go. All right. That's a piece of music. You wanna know what that piece of music sounds like? It sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a piece of percussion music, okay? So, let's break it down. What I've made here, and here, this is called a bar. So this piece of music now has 4 bars in it. There's 4 bars of music in this composition. Does everybody get that? It's 4 bars. And this is called the bar line. And there was a little bit of stuff about bars and bar lines in your homework last week, and a few of you were like, I didn't do this in class. And I said, don't worry, we'll go over that next week. So all that the bar does is it tells us how many beats there are before we start another bar. So how many beats do we have in this bar? 4. How many beats do we have in this bar?
4.
Good, Claire. How many beats do we have in this bar?
4.
4. Shirley. Where's Shirley? Shirley. How many beats do we have in this bar?
4.
Do they all have 4 beats? Yes. in music, in most music, once you start to count a piece of music out, the bars usually have the same number of beats. Until you get into like contemporary weird music, and then that's something that we'll talk about in a much more advanced class. Okay, so we're going to continue making bars of music. So now, put in some quarter notes. Okay, how many beats do we have in this bar? 4. And same with this, right? Do we still have 4 beats in every bar?
Yes.
Yes. Let's keep going. So I'm going to do eighth notes now. When we have a lot of eighth notes or a lot of 16th notes, to make it look less messy, we actually start to connect them into groups because it's easier for your eyes and brain to process them when they're paired or grouped into 4s. So instead of putting 2 eighth notes with 2 flags, we actually get rid of the flags and we draw what we call a beam. So I'm going to start putting like the anatomy of a note here. Here's all the parts of a note. This is called the note head. This is called the stem. This is called a flag. And this is called a beam. The beam connects. So now, how many eighth notes can I fit in this bar of 4 beats? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? In general, do you see how I'm lining things up? So there's 2 in here, and 2 in here. There's 2 in this, 2 in this, 2 in this, 2 in this. Do you see how I'm spacing things out so that there's proportion and balance? In written music, the way you write it is really important. Because when I get a piece of music as a pianist, and I have to sight read that music, which means I've never seen it before and I have to play it, all of these rules of balance and proportion, how things are grouped, my brain knows all that stuff already and it helps me to read it faster. So there's all of these these nitpicky, annoying little rules that you're gonna have to learn about writing music, but just know that there's a reason for every single one of them. Okay, so let's carry on. Let's do our 16th notes. So there's going to be 4 of them. It's going to get 2 beams. Because did you notice how the 8th note gets 1 flag? The 16th note gets 2 flags. 8th notes get 1 beam. 16th notes get 2 beams. This is combined to make a quarter note, and this is combined to make a quarter note. So there's 2 combined here because it makes 1 beat, and there's 4 combined here because it makes 1 beat. Okay? So now, just continue on here. Oh gosh, I feel like I'm in a speed test, and I'm being filmed. It's because I'm so camera shy. That's why I don't like being filmed. Did you hear that? Don't miss any more of my classes, okay? You know who you are. I just needed a little break there. Writing. Okay. I don't know why it's all kind of moving up. I don't know what that is. It's not intentional. Okay. So, I'm talking all about proportion, and then I'm drawing things funny. Okay, so there we go. All right. So what I've done is I've taken this, and now I've turned it into a piece of music. And now we're all going to learn how to play this. So here's the tricky part. If we have a beat or a tempo that goes like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is our tempo. Dun, 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 dun. The pulse is like this. Da, 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 da. So I'm going to give this 4 beats, and then 4 beats, and then 2, and 2, and etc. So I'm going to play this piece of music for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? See how fast these are? Yes. They're a lot of work. They're high maintenance. But you get some good exercise playing those. So these guys are like this, 1, and this is like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is much, much longer than this. This note is 16 times faster than this note. Does that all make sense? Okay, good. And we have the next couple of classes for all of this to settle in too. So I'm giving you a lot of information, but just try to kind of follow along. And we're going to read it, but we're also going to clap it and play it. We're going to try and get it into your bodies, because if you can feel rhythm, you can understand it way better than just like looking at it. Okay, so now, everybody except for Ivy, my award-winning filmmaker, documentarian, you're all going to clap this song with me. You ready? Warm up your hands. Okay?
Oh, I want to do it too.
Here we go. In fact, let's do this. Oh, look at who's in this class. There we go. And look at who's in this class. It's me. Yeah, it's warm. I'm a bit moist, but that's okay. So here's our exercise on the board. Now, does anybody think that they can do this? Like right now they can do this? Like they got it? I saw somebody shake her head, and then as soon as I made eye contact, she was like, nothing. Does anybody want to volunteer to try and clap this? Anybody? If I was an octopus, I would film and clap at the same time, but I'm just a human, so I can't do it. So let's all do it, and I'm just going to do like karaoke finger. All right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, now hold on a second. Some of you are clapping and we haven't even started the song yet. Okay? We need a musical intervention. Here we go. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.